Hey, Leo, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your quarterly reading for October, November, and December. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Leo, I'm getting a message right away for you around a situation or a circumstance that had been postponed is being delivered or is coming up for you in the next 3 months. So perhaps delayed gratification, or perhaps your love life has been, on pause, or if there's been a situation where you said now's not the right time, or I'll go back to school later, or whatever has been postponed or pushed aside or set aside, and maybe you haven't addressed it, or there's been circumstances outside of your control. That is what the next 3 months is bringing up for you. And I feel like there is profound change, but for the better. Yeah, look at, oh, I love this. You have happy, and exchanging gifts. And these are two of the best cards in this entire deck. And it's showing up for you at the end of the year. So we have a deep knowing. There is a deep knowing that magic is happening here for you. There is a new beginning. There's a new timeline that you are jumping into because you've processed something, or you've done the healing, you've done the work. There's been courage and dedication and stamina. And I also feel for some of you, you are highly intuitive, and you have this deep inner knowing that destiny has arrived in some way, or you are the shaper of your destiny, but you're also jumping timelines into a new, activation period of your life because you have the Fates card, and this is destiny. It's card 17, which in tarot, 17 is the star. So I also feel like the stars are aligning for you in the next 3 months to bring something to fruition, or to finally place someone or something on your path, because it's part of this activation that you are entering into to prepare you in some way, shape, or form for the changes that are coming in 2025. Now, starting off in October, Leo, you have message in a bottle. This is communication. For some of you, there's going to be news, announcements. You could be connecting or communicating with someone specific in your life. I also feel like in terms of career or finances, communication could be very favorable for you this month, okay? So there could be an interview, or you may be speaking, a public speaker. You could be an influencer in some way, shape, or form. Communication is being activated, and I am getting a highly activated throat chakra. Some of you may need to speak up. There could be lessons around using your voice, using your creativity. Now we start off with the Ace of Wands. So this is new communication. I love it. Or it's the beginning of a communication that leads to something very abundant towards the end of the year even. All right, what do we have here? What's the tarot we have for October? We have the Hanged Man. Hanged Man says if you have been hung up, again, postponed or delayed, remember that was the big message coming in. October could be the month. There's one card that flipped out here. October could be the month where you finally hear news, or you put something out there. 3 of Pentacles is showing up, and this is teamwork. This is teamwork. This may be around family. So you have the Ace of Wands, which is represented by Glinda in The Wizard of Oz. Glinda is the magic pink bubble that shows up right out of the blue when people need her the most. And I feel like you hold Glinda's wand. You're able to manifest within a quick time period is what I'm getting here. But it's not that it's instant success or instant fame or instant love. you have been doing the work. And now the fruits of your labor are paying off in the potentially the material world, is why you have this Three of Pentacles. So there could be a new cooperation or collaboration, excuse me. This could be a new group, a new relationship, something that steps up into a very solid partnership. And if it felt like it was delayed or it took a long time, I feel like the Hanged Man is coming in here saying, all right, this is the brink of a major awakening. No more hangups, no more delays. This is letting go. And it's strong Pisces energy as well. And we have a lot of shifts in Pisces taking place in October, September and October. So if you were hung up on maybe even a person, maybe you were hung up on a situation of the past, the 3 says that you're moving on, and it could even be with the help of others. This communication could be you speaking to perhaps a therapist, speaking to a coach, a mentor, a friend, a family member. But because you hold the wand, I feel like this is you holding your power. It's like you have reclaimed your throne in some way, shape, or form. So let's see what the overall outcome is for October. Whatever this message is, I mean, this is good. This is going to allow you to move forward after a period of delay. So if you had a health issue, and maybe the doctor had you on bed rest, or you had to really take it easy, or maybe you weren't able to work, this could be the month where you receive the green light, because I am getting a green light here towards a new beginning. And they may say you're in the clear, you're able to do regular functions, or you can work out. There's something about getting back on track here, or feeling more vitality. I mean, the Ace of Wands is also about inspiration. So you could have some downloads or some incoming messages from spirit, because the wands is a very spiritual energy. You may have some downloads that put you on the path towards, abundance in some way, shape, or form, or even love. You may be inventing a new idea or coming up with a new creative endeavor. This can be about a new purpose, feeling alive again. And this is the seed of conception. It's potential, and it's art, and it's passion, and it's desire, and it's all intermingled here. So for those of you that haven't felt that energy for quite some time, maybe you felt like the Tin Woodman here, the Tin Man, kind of just frozen in the seasons, right? It's like Dorothy going up and oiling the Tin Man, because it's what happened in the story The Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man was just doing his thing and he rusted, right? It's the weather came in, and it just feels like you've been going through a period of non-action, or it just feels maybe even robotic, or it feels like you haven't been able to feel love, or let love in, or let love out. I feel like that's all about to change. This is Dorothy coming along, or Glinda's, wand coming along saying, here is the oil, time to oil you up, because it's time to reawaken your energy. You have a new timeline you're jumping into here. So I like this. I like it a lot. 3 of Pentacles is represented by Dorothy's rescue. So whatever this is, it almost feels like it is rescuing you in some way, shape, or form. Whatever this oil, we'll call it the oil, or, the life, or the vitality. Yeah, life force energy. And this Ace of Wands, basically that's what it is coming in, oiling you up here in some way, shape, or form. And it is going to kind of rescue you, or bring that Tin Man out of that slump. And that's what this message and news is all about. So let's connect to an outcome. I mean, October is looking good for you, Leo. Looking good. What do we have for the outcome, please? The Fool. There's your new beginning. There's the new journey. The Fool is represented by Alice. Alice is going down the rabbit hole, right? It is Aquarian energy about taking a leap of faith. It is the soul self being curious. And this could even be on a path of self-discovery, maybe even travel in the month of October. This could be the beginning of a new job or a relationship, or just feeling like you have something to live for. This is a new timeline jump into basically a brand new journey. And I feel like you're all for it here. Wow. Beautiful. This could be one of your best months. I feel October and December, definitely a very, very favorable month for you in 2024. But I feel like, I mean, we'll finish the reading, of course, but I love the energy of October. It almost feels like a sigh of relief, like it's about time, or I've worked so hard for this, or wow, I didn't even realize that I had been stuck until I realized how, how much I wasn't putting towards my own happiness. So in the month of November, we do have some loose ends, it looks like, or some unfinished business that is being addressed. It's also card 10. Now in tarot, 10 is the wheel of fortune. So perhaps this is karma. Okay, for some of you, this is a renewal, but there may still be some loose ends that you're tying up before you enter, or as you are entering, I should say, into this new phase. Perhaps this is a move. Now, in the month of October, there could be a move, but you have to go back to your old house or the house you're leaving and clean up, right? You have to tie up the loose ends. Or this could be, putting in that 2-week notice to move on to a new position, but you still have to go to your old job. So I feel like there is something unfinished that may be showing up for you in the month of November, but let's take a look and see what's happening. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles. It may have to do with your finances for some of you, financial obligations. This can be health, all right? This can be your mindset even. Some of you did deal with a bit of a change when it comes to your health or your finances or your stability. And I just feel like there could be triggers. It almost feels like all of this greatness is happening for you in October, and then November kicks in and it's like you pinch yourself, but you're still in the goodness, but then you start to get in your head about it and you say, well, what if I can't do this? What if it is all too good to be true? Or what if, try not to get lost in the what ifs, because sometimes we break, right? Humpty Dumpty. Sometimes it feels like our life falls apart and we have to put it back together again. But it's through putting it back together again that we find that sense of that completion or fullness within ourselves. And I feel like you have a lot of opportunities. That's why Humpty Dumpty there is juggling up 5 of these golden eggs, because there are opportunities. And I also see the egg showing up on the unfinished symphony. So you may be questioning a new beginning, but Spirit is saying the only reason you're questioning it is because there could be a karmic tie. And when we deal with karmic bonds, such as relationships or, or lessons, just lost my voice there, it is very hard to break free from. And I feel like some of you, the 5 to the 10 here is, a little bit of uncertainty perhaps because there's a new path or travel or change. And we can get a little bit fearful when we are in the midst of change. And sometimes our default mode is to fall back to a place that feels comfortable, even though that comfort zone isn't always healthy or it's not exactly what we want. It's basically been programmed, just like the Tin Man there, right? It feels at times like it's been programmed. And Spirit is saying, wait a second, the Tower showing up here is saying that, in fact, you've actually dodged a bullet. You've dodged a bullet here by, shattering this old structure, this old belief system. This is about a brand new beginning for you. You've gone through, or you have had some sort of spiritual awakening. So there is changes occurring here for you, sudden changes, and this could scare you, right? But I feel like the changes that are coming in are absolutely for the better. So don't allow yourself to fall back, Leo, in that default mode of settling or going back to an old situation because it feels safe, even though it's not necessarily safe per se. You are meant to shine, and I feel like it's getting out of your comfort zone that is going to truly bring in that energy. Now, you do have the Two of Cups. It's in reverse, so it may require you to separate from the old or separate from something that at one point perhaps you were emotionally invested in, if you want to fully embrace this new beginning. Okay, because this new beginning looks good. This looks really good. Ace of Wands and messages and communication and being able to take the next step on your journey with that Three of Pentacles. I feel like the Tower, for some of you, this could be an energy of the past. It could be a belief. It could be, a fear. The Five of Pentacles, it sometimes wants to come in with, uncertainty. And I feel like Spirit is saying, don't get lost in this Five of Pentacles. You've already been there. You've already learned some lessons. You know what it's like to go through loss or financial disruption or, health issues, whatever it may be. You can avoid this by disconnecting from this energy, okay? Or reprogramming a belief. And the way to do that is to bring in constant repetition of a new thought pattern. It's not enough just to tell yourself once. We must repeat it into our energy field and our psyche, and we have to sometimes reprogram the mind, retrain it in a way. And I feel like that is part of this unfinished symphony. So what is the overall outcome for November? The Messenger and the Page of Wands. Okay, so we have the Messenger here, which is so interesting because not only do you have message in a bottle in, October, but we have this bonus major arcana, which in this deck, the Messenger is card 22. And there's only 21 major arcanas. So the creator of this deck added a few bonus, which I love. And the Messenger has everything to do with communications, messages, truths. This can be mysteries. It can be communication skills. What I feel happening is there could be someone, because it did show up in reverse. It could be someone, or it could be you, that may have held back on some sort of feelings because you were afraid that something may have been too good to be true. Or perhaps you didn't want to share the news, like in pregnancy, right? A lot of times if you've gone through a miscarriage or if you've gone through a situation where there has been a loss or it's been challenging, you don't always share the news right away until you have the green light. And what did we say here in October? There's a green light coming in here for you. And the Page of Wands is excited. But I also am getting a message here around this Messenger. Be mindful of your words and how they affect others. Be mindful of how you speak to yourself and how they affect you. So that is a big, big message coming in November, okay? Because words are like spells. That's why they call it spelling, right? And I feel like words are very, very important. But you have the Page of Wands showing up here in the upright. And the Page of Wands is a student. He's curious. He wants to, be creative, and he has passion, and there could be a message coming in around career, a project, a course of study. I feel like there's definitely something that may have been hidden, or perhaps it wasn't fully, brought up. Maybe you didn't know how someone felt, or you didn't have all of the closing pieces of a documentation. I feel like that's what's being wrapped up here. And pages do represent news as well. So, the amount of communication and messages and news that I see coming in for you over the next 3 months is huge. All right. Let's look at December. You're the first sign to get a bonus card, I believe, for December. And like I said, these are two highly favorable cards. Exchanging gifts and happy, happy. It's about time. I just heard someone say, it's about time. I deserve to be happy. Hummingbirds could be significant. Balloons are showing up here. There could be some sort of celebration. I also see that you, Leo, have gifts that people want, people need, and people desire. Now, I also feel if this is a long-seated dream of yours, there could be celebrations because there could be a gift coming in from the universe. Spirit, what is the energy here around December? What do we have for December? Something that you've worked long and hard for, may have even felt like there was competition over this. All right, we have oh wow, look at what we have here. We have the Five of Wands in reverse. Five of Wands upright can be competition. It can be obstacles or other people involved. It can even be struggles or adversity or, going with the crowd in some way, shape, or form. But it's showing up in reverse, which means you're avoiding this energy. I feel like you're flying over it, or you've already tackled some of the biggest lessons and now you're able to enjoy. And if some of you got caught up in what other people thought, okay, or if this is, because this can be a group think, like too many cooks in the kitchen, I feel like you're taking your recipes elsewhere. And instead of you being in the kitchen where, it's messy and everyone has an opposing view, you're either going to a new kitchen where there's more order because we have the Emperor. Yeah, I feel like there could be more structure, more stability, more order. You're moving to a place that feels like there's more collaboration as well. And wherever you've been, whatever this energy is of maybe some unfinished stuff, it feels like it was very chaotic, very hectic for you in the past. Maybe communication was very, very difficult between you and a loved one, between you and a boss, or you and a family member. But we have the Emperor, we have the Magician, and we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So I do feel like you're manifesting a dream here. And the Emperor is represented here by the Wizard of Oz. Now, the Emperor is the ruler. He is disciplined. He's structured. He is, stable. He could be a divine father or husband as well. Or this could be you really being able to step into some sort of authority within a group dynamic or within your household. This could be you calling in a divine masculine as well. Or if you have struggled with father, right? Father wounds or divine masculine wounds, I feel like you're manifesting here a gift, a brand new beginning. And you may even be seeing a silver lining from a situation that has been a little bit difficult. Now, Five of Wands isn't the worst five, right? But it certainly can bring about travel or change. For some of you, you could be traveling and you could be surrounding yourself with family members, but I also feel don't let someone steal your thunder, or don't embark upon communication with someone who's always looking for an argument, or if their views are always different. You're not going to convince them or persuade them. And I don't feel like you're trying to, but they may try to do that to you with the Magician. But I feel like you are standing in your power here with that Emperor. And the Magician is someone who is very skilled, very talented. So we have two leaders here coming together. And the Magician is also a communicator. Someone could cut hair. I see the scissors there on the Mad Hatter's hat. Someone could be maybe getting a haircut. I also see here the Magician is creating something quite wonderful. And it may be that you may be searching for the right tribe to help you create this abundance, or perhaps you're being introduced to new people at this time. And it may be that you don't click with everyone, but I feel like you will click with the right ones that are meant to, be on your path. And even the ones that are challenging, they're still meant to be on your path because they're here to teach you. They're here to teach you some major lessons, but you don't have to let their energy, encroach onto yours in a negative way. You can take the lessons and, allow yourself to learn and to stay true to you and your power. Because I see the Emperor looking at the Five of Wands here. So you may be looking at a situation. And I also see for those of you who've been in competition with a job, you could be chosen. Okay, you could rise above the competition here with the Five of Wands and the Emperor. You could be chosen as the Magician. They really like your skills. You're very independent. You're very energetic. You're excellent at communication. Some of you Leos may be in the field of communication in some way, shape, or form. And an Emperor here, an authority figure, sees your power and they actually choose you out of a group of other people, of applicants who may be applying for a position. Okay, that's one scenario here. But I also am getting, you're going to be really happy. Yeah, you're going to be really happy. And it's interesting because the Magician, he has gifts. There's a sense of independence here. It's like you've independently rose above. And there's also another dragonfly and butterfly. Did we say that earlier? I feel like dragonflies or butterflies could be, or hummingbirds as well, could be a part of maybe nature animals or symbology that's coming in for you. But I feel with these two major arcanas, there's definitely good news or rising above the fray or the competition. What is the outcome energy? Even though the Emperor and the Magician are big outcomes. Look at that. We have the Six of Wands. So yeah, you're rising above. You have the Five of Wands and the Six of Wands here. Something that you really struggle to be better than, or you may have been in competition, or there's a lot of people that do what you do, but there's something unique about you that has you rising to the top. I mean, people want your gifts. I said that earlier. People want what you have and you're being noticed. For a lot of you, this Emperor is someone else, or it's you really getting recognized, really getting noticed. There could be a big glow up for you as well, because this can be, Six of Wands can be the card of fame for those of you that may be in the spotlight. Now, Six of Wands showing up here is also about hard work paying off. It is success, victory, achievement, public recognition, and rewards for your hard work. That's why you have this happy. So some of you are going to celebrate the new year with a bang. I feel like you are going into 2025 with a clean slate, feeling good about your accomplishments, feeling good about where you are at in life. And there could be, new soul tribe, maybe even new romantic interest here. I don't see tons of cups. I will say that here. I don't see tons of cups. Is there even any? Okay, there is a Two of Cups. So for some of you, you may not be necessarily focusing on love per se. It doesn't mean that it's not here. I just want to pull a quick question on love. Spirit, can we see why is there not a lot of cups? And what do we need to know about the intuition or the heart? What do we need to know about? Okay, yeah, that's why. Because some of you, Eight of Swords, it's like you're being very logical at this time because you came from a space where it's almost like you had a mental breakdown, or your mind or your thoughts may have destroyed you, or you may have thought that you had hit a bit of a rock bottom. Okay, you had to pick up a part of yourself after perhaps an emotionally debilitating time of your life. This Eight of Swords is finding the courage, the bravery, the strength to recover. If you felt trapped, if you felt restricted within your own mental prison, right? You came out of this, and it doesn't mean that you're not open to love or you're not allowing your heart to flourish. It just means that you're focusing on, excuse me, you're focusing on strengthening the mind and the power of the power of the mind. And I feel like, yeah, communication here, as my voice is cutting in and out again, it's like you're trying to focus on communicating better with yourself and communicating better with others. And the Eight of Swords is also about no longer questioning your potential. And I feel like some of you may have been tied down by an emotional situation that may have delayed your gratification. And perhaps that goes back to that very first message. And remember, Leo, you are the lion. It goes back to that very first message here of your reading of anything that may have been delayed, postponed, or it felt like you were in a period of maybe recovery. This is why, because some of you felt a little bit hopeless or even helpless, right? But now the game has changed and you're feeling hopeful and helpful, and that's what matters here. So again, it doesn't mean that the heart's not involved, but it took you a long time to get out of an emotional situation, and you're not just going to dive in with your heart on your sleeve. I feel like the focus is on, bigger things here for you. And it's not that, love isn't a big thing. It absolutely is. But I feel like you're preparing for that. And it wouldn't surprise me if 2025 is a big firework embodiment of the heart, of, the element of water for you. So let's get some final messages from inspirational leaders, your ancestors, guides. What do we need to know for Leo, please? I'm also getting a message around not taking life so seriously, because in the Eight of Swords, this can be a very serious energy, or at least it feels that way when we're trapped in some sort of mental confinement. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of fun or a lot of happiness. And I feel like there is a shift coming in that you're not taking life so seriously. You're like, what? I'm going to love everyone the best that I can, but I'm going to focus on my happiness and my well-being and my health and my business and career, and fostering the relationships that are honest and loyal, and the relationships that you can have intellectual conversations with. That's so important for you, Leo. Now, and this may be why you have Dr. Seuss coming in here. This may be why you're meant to lighten up a bit. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. I love that. So some of you are highly poetic, or perhaps you are reading, Dr. Seuss books to your children or your grandchildren, or again, it could be symbolic for not taking life so seriously, because today you are you, and that is the truth. We have, this is the sign you've been looking for. Go for it. That's from your guides, because it is unknown. There isn't a person named under it. So I feel like when that happens, there is messages here from your guides. And you're not going to believe this, you guys. You have actually 2 quotes from Dr. Seuss. So anyway, here's a sign from your guides, from your ancestors, your spiritual team. This is the sign you've been looking for. Go for it. And the message in a bottle is about signs and symbols. It is a Cledon. A Cledon is, I believe, the ancient name for being at the right place at the right time, where you may overhear a conversation, but that's your sign, right? Or you find yourself in a place where someone says something and you're like, that's it. So pay attention. October is bringing about a lot of epiphanies, a lot of downloads and signs and symbols that you are being asked to pay attention to. Here we have Dr. Seuss showing up twice. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. And you do have a lot of brains here, right? You have the brains, you have the courage, you have the heart as well. The brains, the courage, and the heart. And it's interesting because isn't the Tin Man, is the Tin Man the one with no heart, right? You have the Scarecrow, the Lion, Yeah. I feel like you have everything you need to turn iron into gold. Okay. Napoleon Hill, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. Napoleon Hill. And last but not least, Leo, bad things happen, and sometimes the bad things turn out to be the conduit for a good thing. But you can't always see that when you're going through it, right? Sometimes this Eight of Swords energy, this anxiety, this stuckness that maybe you've been feeling, maybe it was bad, right? Because bad things, they happen. It's part of the human experience, but sometimes that bad thing can be one of the best things that really ever did happen to you, because it can be the catalyst in something very transformational. And for example, this channel started up after a very significant period of my life where I was going through some deep healing from some bad situations that had occurred. And I surrendered basically with the Hanged Man. I really surrendered and I opened up more so. And I've always been spiritual, so I've always been able to receive messages from my guides, fortunately. And you guys are able to do that too. I'm no different than you all, right? We all have the ability. And I was guided to, to turn on YouTube, which I was going to do anyway, to go on and find music. Because at that time, basically, I'd only listen to music on YouTube or, how to fix things. I did not know at all that tarot was a thing on YouTube until I turned on the YouTube. I was about to search for, music to play, and Spirit came through and said, turn on. I was Libra. I'm a Libra. Libra, and the month I was in was February. I think it was 2021 at that time. And I'm like, okay, I've learned to not question Spirit, right? I've learned to not question. So I did it. And lo and behold, my life had changed basically in an instant. And I had heard, click on the second reading in, and I clicked on it. And that reading was everything that was going on in my life, down to that reader saying the name of the person that was about to show up at my house. My best friend said her name, right? I could not believe the accuracy, the inspiration, the hope, the guidance after feeling so low and broken at that point in my life. And Spirit said after that video, this is what you are meant to be doing at this time in your life. And I said, well, Spirit, I don't know tarot. I read, but I read intuitively. I don't use tools. And Spirit said, you will learn. And I said, when? 1 month was the time frame I got. And I learned, and I posted my first video 1 month later. I learned, and I'm still learning to this day. But that is a perfect example of going through some situations in your life where you don't always feel like there's going to be a silver lining or good that comes out of it. But I feel like if I wasn't at that point of my life, then there could have been, delays. And Spirit is saying no more delays. This is it. The next 3 months are going to be pivotal on your journey to allow you to jump into the 2025 timeline with this energy of happy. You deserve it, Leo. It's here for you. I hope that resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And thank you so very much for tuning in. Lots of love to you all.